go. Let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. Let things be exactly as they are. You and me will live in peace. Well, I don't know what anything is for unless I listen to that still small voice telling me this simple truth, that everything is for my good. So let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. No, you can't change God. Let things be exactly as they are, and you and me will live in peace. I'm not this body that you see, although today this body got a brand new haircut. How do you like it? I am as God created me. We are all one family, and it's possible to live in peace. So let things be exactly as they are. Oh, you can't change me, and you can't change God. No, you can't change God. Let things be exactly as they are, and you and me will live in peace. Kumbaya. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Howdy, 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 howdy. I missed you last week. Hey, Connie, I'm so glad you're here. Wow. Hey, Connie, are you still in Mexico? Oh, wow. That's so cool. Well, it is, let's see. It was -5. And I think it's going back down. It was 12 at the tops today. And now I think it's going back down to minus whatever.
It was a little cool here today, Yolanda, because it was overcast and 77.
Oh! Oh, I love it. That's so funny. Woo! What a winter it's been up here on the Glory Land Mountain, y'all. It's really something. I've got frozen snow, at least 2 feet piled up on my deck back here. Because I just could not bring myself. Yeah, 65 degrees difference between you and me right now, Connie. Oh, God, that's so funny. I love it. Well, well, well. This has been a wonderful day so far. So I'm going to share some videos, actually. And it's one of Glen's booklets, which is A Course in Miracles, Chapter 4, The Illusions of the Ego. Section 4, Love Without Conflict. Love is not in conflict. Love simply is. Well then, we should play that song, I think. But first, wait, before we do that, but this week on Wednesday, February 11th, my appearance on Ryan Murphy's TV show, The Beauty, is coming out. So This is not, like I said, this is not a walk-on or a one-liner or a background or anything. This is a role, a dramatic role for me, and I'm really, really honored to have been able to be a part of this production. So I'm gonna have Shauna play the trailer that I'm in.
My blood, and mine alone, is the liquid gold here.
You're mad.
If I'm the woman I know I am, I have to take it.
Our latest data indicates a catastrophic reaction occurs.
That is a bioweapon. How am I supposed to sell this?
FX is the Beauty. All new next Wednesday at 9 on FX and Hulu.
Ooh. Did you see that? Oh my goodness. It's quite a trip. It's quite a trip. You don't have to watch all the episodes to sort of, you could actually just watch this episode that I'm in, because it's sort of pivotal to the whole plot if you just want to see and get the gist of what it's about. But of course it's about a beauty drug that turns you into your best self, and with one shot, the catch line is, one shot makes you hot. And it's hilarious. It's so cool though, because I had a chance to work with some amazing actors, and one of those actors is somebody I really, really love. Personally, just I think is an amazing person, Lux Pascal, who plays my character after the transition. So that the drug happens, you see me writhing in the bathtub in the trailer, and then I'm transformed, and the actor that plays that character afterwards is Lux Pascal, and I'm so honored to share that role with her. So it's and there are a couple more things I want to say about this, because we're about to approach the second anniversary of Glen's passing. It's coming up next month in March, and this time last year I was really, really, really deep in grief, and I got a phone call in late February of last year about doing this role, and I couldn't believe it, actually. I had auditioned, but I auditioned for things all the time, and they called me and told me I got the role, and I was like, what? And it just so happened that we filmed the role in March over 2 weeks, and those were the 2 weeks where Glen was beginning to feel bad and not, was on his way out. And the very last day of our filming was the day of Glen's passing. And I just thought that was so amazing, because there was some sense, a real strong sense of Glen's presence, in this whole thing, setting it up, all of it, and filming it. And just that the very last day of our filming was on the day he passed, just blew my mind. So I got to share that with the cast and everything, and it's like people were like, wow, But yeah, so it's really special to me. And the thing is that I know, it's sci-fi horror or whatever, and that may not be your genre, or you may not think that's spiritual or whatever. But what I've done is, what Glen helped me do a lot is to really look past these scenes of horror and to go deeper. We used to watch these kind of shows together, and and I'm still not a big blood and guts fan, and there is blood and guts in this series, but what Glen helped me understand was, a lot of times in these kinds of movies, the directors and the writers and everything, we get to and the actors, we get to explore topics that aren't usually explored. And in this particular series, we, cover the topic of beauty, obviously, and what it, means to a lot of people. And we also, in my episode in particular, because it's about a trans woman, we're really exploring that, trans life and the visibility of trans people, which I think is hugely important right now. And also just moving past, well, the heinous things that people do, and to look beyond that into a humanity that is reshaping itself. I feel like we live in a time where the upheaval that we're experiencing in the world right now is really opening the door for a major transformation in the human race, in the way that we interact with each other. So I have a big vision, and I anyway, trying to share that with you today. Just sort of, talking about something that I really feel deeply, which is we are transforming. Humanity is transforming. And we are the light. All of us are, but those who are on a conscious spiritual path, and we know that we're the light, we're here for a purpose, and that is to shine that light, And this is especially needed right now. So all of our spiritual practice, everything that we do, reflects or radiates out into the world and has an effect on other people. Oh, there was this other thing I wanted to tell you right quick before we go in, because I went today to get my hair cut. So I've been feeling sad today. I woke up and was missing Glen, and was just sort of feeling sad. And I just know that it's because of the second anniversary of his passing that's coming up. But it's also, now when I feel sad, it's a way of knowing that I'm still connected to him, and that I still love him, and that he still loves me, And so anyway, I was sort of feeling all this, and I got in the car and went to the hair salon, and I sat down in the salon, and someone turned around. She had her hair all done up in foils. She was getting her hair, highlighted. And so I couldn't see her face. She turned around and she goes, "Yolanda, is that you?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, I met you at your concert. We did a concert a couple months ago at Dummerson Church. And I was like, "Oh, I remember you. What's your name?" "Glen." Wow. The synchronicity. First of all, Glenn Close is the only woman I know by the name of Glenn. I didn't know that, that people did that. But that was mind-blowing to me. So anyway, I just wanted to share that little piece of my life today. Wow. So with that, let's play Did You Know? So this is my new song that I released on January 26th, actually. And the video was filmed right out here in the snow because it was the first day of our snowstorm. It's been snowing over here since the day after Thanksgiving, which is when this video was filmed. So anyway, here we go. You get to see it.
is your true identity? And did you know that love is all encompassing? And everything you fear is now all dissolving. Love is not in conflict, love simply is. Love is inclusive, it surrounds and transcends. Ooh, love is all there is. Love is inclusive, love is all encompassing. Well, did you know that love has no opposite? And did you know that no one is left outside of it? No one in exile, all of us are a part of it. Love is not in conflict, love simply is. Love is inclusive, it surrounds and transcends. Ooh, love is all there is. Love is inclusive, love is all encompassing. Love is not in conflict, love simply is. Love is inclusive, it surrounds and transcends. Ooh, love is all there is. Love is inclusive, love is all encompassing. Love is all encompassing. Love is all encompassing. Love is all encompassing.
Hey, thank you, Shauna. I appreciate that. I just wanted to, for you to see the folks that have been so instrumental here in my life, and of course, you guys every day, y'all, loving y'all, and just this community around here that's been so welcoming to me and so lovely, and so. All those scenes of me hugging people, that was the concert. Oh, there's a question going on. Yeah, please.
All right. Hi, Yolanda.
Hi.
So, Ellen, I have a question.
Yes.
It was special thanks to a gentleman for playing Glen in the upcoming.
Yes, I was just about to talk. I was just about to tell you about that. Yes. Thanks, Ellen. So,
Okay.
so another project that's happening. which I just finished filming in December, is a project called With Time. It's a documentary based on 4 transgender elders, and I'm one of those elders. And they did a nationwide search to, cast these.
Find you.
Yeah. And 3 other folks. And in that documentary, we're talking about our life stories and things. And so obviously I'm talking about Glen a lot. And one of the things that we're doing is that they asked me to pick a scene from our live, me and Glen's live, and that we would write a script for it and actually cast it and film it as like a scene, like a TV episode or something. And we did that, and Adam Shapiro played Glen. Now, Adam has actually been on this platform before singing when I used to host Sounds of Awakening, but he's been a really good friend of me and Glen's for years and years and years. And even at first I wasn't sure, but when I asked him, it was perfect. It was just perfect. And I played me and he played Glen. And it was really amazing because he showed up on set with some of Glen's clothing that I had given him. And he had Glen's trench coat on. You probably never saw him in it, but the scarves that Glen used to wear, and the hat. And so I was just like crying and everything. But that's going to come out, we hope, at the end of 2026. So it's another really wonderful project that I'm grateful to be a part of. Thank you so much for asking, Ellen. Thank you. Wow. I feel super grateful right now. Grateful for all you, and thank you for bearing witness to what's going on over here. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I want to share Glen's booklet with you, but I also think I would like to share my contemplation for today from Thoughts of Awakening. So here we go. So today's the one that we contemplated today and spoke about this morning was Thoughts of Awakening, quote number 38, which says, "The feeling of guilt has been misunderstood. It does not mean you have done something wrong. It only means you have something to learn. In learning, you will know great joy and celebration." So when I do the Thoughts of Awakening, I also contemplated alongside of whatever the Course in Miracles workbook lesson is for the day. And ACIM lesson number 38 says, "There is nothing my holiness cannot do." So I took these 2 quotes, and this is what: "I am amazed at the fact that there is nothing my holiness cannot do. It can even turn the awful, gnawing, self-hating feeling of guilt and turn it into a learning opportunity." Wow, that's power. "Sometimes moments of guilt come into my awareness and I let myself be swept up in them. I indulge myself in the, 'Oh, I should have done this, and why did I say that?' thoughts that quickly become heartbreaking guilt, especially if it's a thought that accuses me of not being sensitive enough to my sweet husband, my dear Glen. Oh, these thoughts come in. I hurt his feelings over XYZ, and now I can't even tell him I'm sorry because he's dead." And that's absolutely ridiculous. But you know how the spiral goes on and on with those crappy thoughts. At some point, though, it just gets funny to even listen to that voice of guilt, shame, and fear. And that's when I know there's a turning point. When I can begin to laugh at myself and these outrageous self-hate thoughts, I know I've turned the corner from being duped by the ego to joy and celebration of the truth of my oneness with love. I love those moments. Maybe that's what it feels like to me to be alive and in the present. I wonder if I could experience a whole day full of these kind of moments. A week? A year? A lifetime? Of unfolding joyous moments that reveal to me who I truly am. What a celebration. Do I dare? Blessed be. Well, you know what, Shauna, with that, I think I'd like to play Sweet, Sweet Spirit. So, this is a song I recorded with one of my really good friends, Reverend Shanda Rule, and we're singing a duet here of Sweet, Sweet Spirit and a song called Heaven is in Me. So.
Heaven's in me, this I know, for God's teachings tell me so. Little one, to this behold, as above is so below. Heaven's within me, heaven's within me, heaven's within me, for life's teachings tell me so. Heaven's in me still, when my way goes against my will. Still I love, still I shine, still I blossom, still I rise. Heaven's within me, heaven's within me, heaven's within me, for life's teachings tell me so.
Thank you, Shauna. Thanks, everybody. Oh, oh my goodness. I love that song. And Reverend Shonda Rule. Love, love, love her. Ah. Oh, thank you, Shauna. All right, well, I'm going to let that be our prayer. This candle is for all of us. We are the light of the world. And may we walk in the way of gratitude for all life. Blessed be. And so it is. And that's Glen. Oh, goodness. So let me share from Glen's booklet. Oh, you know what? This would be fun because there are some cute. He always does these pictures. Let me see if I can share my screen. There we go. There we go. All right. So this is an amazing sandcastle. Look at the detail. That's a sandcastle. Yeah. Is that amazing? Wow. Is that something? Look at that. I don't know the scale. I don't know if it's like human scale. I don't guess it is, but whoa, look at that. I know, it's fascinating. He used to find the most fascinating things. Wow. And then at the bottom here, a crack. A crack in the foundation. Okay, the first one was Channel Islands, Guernsey, St. Peter Port Ornamental Sandcastle Display. Okay. And a crack in the foundation in Utah. Interesting. So here's Glen's summary, which also, to me, summarizes the teaching. Over and over again, the Course will tell us that we have a choice. Be ourselves or try not to exist. We were loved into existence, and we will love something into existence as well, because we are created no different than the Creator. We are confused by the misunderstanding that our lives are only the beginning and end of the existence of our bodies. Indeed, indeed. When we actually are the seasons of God. I love how he put that. We are the seasons of God. Isn't that interesting, an analogy? Huh. It's our time to grow the fruits of the Spirit. The alternate choice is to try to make illusions to satisfy our creative nature. We have dominion over our lives, and we can give that power away. Looking within and discovering how we have let ourselves down is the crack in the wall of the ego that allows something new to come in. We loosen our fortified inner lives and learn that the kingdom we want to build is abundant and inclusive of all life. We tear down our walls and let the truth in. We learn that who we want to be is ourselves, capital O. And we begin to create with love the world we know is possible. And brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, that's what we're doing right now. That's what's going on. And that is why we are here. Well, I'm going to start preaching now because this is really important to me. All right, so I'm going to go back up and start at the top. Now, you know, if you're familiar with the way Glen used to do these, but he only highlighted certain aspects of the paragraphs in the text and then commented on them. So the first highlighted portion is, the kingdom of heaven is you. Heaven is in me, which is why I wanted to play that song. What else but you did the Creator create, and what else but you is his kingdom? This is the whole message, which in its totality transcends the sum of its parts. You too have a kingdom, or a queendom, that your spirit created. It has not ceased to create because of the ego's illusions. The kingdom is perfectly united and perfectly protected, and the ego will not prevail against it. Amen. A woman, a human. I like to say that. And Glen's comments here are, we are the created kingdom / queendom of reality, and we will create like we've been created, consciously or unconsciously. It's true and reliable and doesn't need defense. We create what we want to see by joining with the kingdom. And his question for us here is, what are we making with the ego? What are we making with the ego? So in course language, you know, I'm sure you know this, but she uses the word create to talk about things that exist in reality, capital R. And then she uses the word make to talk about things, material things in this material realm that arise and fall. So I find this question provocative. What are we making with the ego? Well, the ego is running amok. The ego is running amok in the world, and we can really see, we really can see it. And it's just an out of control expression of the ego, you know, all over the world, like greed, whatever, horror, you know, all this is an out of control expression of the ego, and it's been made so it will not last. It will come and go. All kingdoms and everything like that in the world will come and go. They never last, you know, even though we think, you know, it's so mighty and so powerful and all of this. But no. So what inside of me, what am I making with the ego? Less and less, but, you know, things like fear, things like, you know, hiding my light, you know, not expressing myself. Those are the kinds of ego traps that trip me up. But less and less, you know. It's, at this point, I have so many tools spiritual tools that I use on a daily basis that just come in so handy and so helpful and really lead me back to truth. So that's the joy and the importance, I think, of having a, you know, daily spiritual practice. So thank you for your practice. We are creating. Okay, the next underlined section is, in the text, is my role, speaking, Jesus is speaking to us, my role is to separate the true from the false, so truth can break through the barriers the ego is set up and shine into your mind. I'm going to read that again. My role is to separate the truth from the true from the false, so truth can break through the barriers the ego is set up and can shine into your mind. So Glen's comments here. We are not alone and friendless. We have a friend in the kingdom that wants to show us the path of happiness, but we've been trusting the voice of the ego and don't know how to trust the inner guide. Question: can you tell the difference? You know what? There was a point where I couldn't, where I wasn't able to tell the difference between the voice of the ego and the voice of spirit. Does anybody remember a time when that was true for you? I mean, isn't it funny? But, you know, the voice of spirit always leads me to peace, always brings me peace. And the voice of ego always wants me to have a fit in some way. Have some kind of fit. It loves those fits. So yeah, it's again, spiritual prayer, daily spiritual practice helps us discern the voice of spirit and the voice of the inner guide between the voice of the ego. So the ego tells you this life is your existence because it is its own. Against this sense of temporary existence, spirit offers you the knowledge of permanence and unshakable being. No one who has experienced the revelation of this can ever fully believe in the ego again, and that is what is occurring in this multidimensional experience over here. Glen says the ego can't hear the guide. It just knows that you're not listening to the ego, and is quite worried for itself. Its solution is to convince you to seek its comfort and privilege in the world instead of self-expression. The ego doesn't value self-expression. Question: what does the ego use to keep you interested in its preservation? What does it deal in that hooks you? Yeah, that's a good one. What is the ego's little hook to draw you in? Well, I have a good one. A hook. Here's a good hook. It's always a big red flag for me when I feel disrespected. I feel like, so, you know, somebody will make a comment about something or whatever, and I'll take it like I'm being disrespected, you know, and that ego just pops right in, taking me down that rabbit hole. Oh, Shauna says, the hook for this one is whatever I've chosen is valuable, right, in each moment. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, if you let it, it will hook you in. Okay, so back to the text. You who identify with your ego cannot believe God loves you. You do not love what you made, and what you made does not love you. Ooh. Love will enter immediately into any mind that truly wants it, but it must want it truly. This means that it wants it without ambivalence. And this kind of wanting is wholly without the ego's drive to get. And that's from the text. It says, and it's in quotes, the ego's drive to get. So Glen's comments, the ego doesn't love anything. It cannot. We keep giving it another chance, though. Reform, grow up, change. It cannot. Healing the ego, maintaining its comfort is what we do instead of expressing our truest nature. We must take action on the voice of the guide. By doing so, we demonstrate that we believe in our own happiness and creativity. Question: can you forgive and ignore your ego? Now, that's an interesting question. Can you forgive and ignore your ego? Well, you know, I've been working with the concept that, well, in other words, I don't want to demonize the ego, right? So, because it's all part of the package, you know, it's a multidimensional experience we're having. I keep using that word today, but it is a multidimensional experience we're having, and part of that is the ego dimension, which I really see as a dimension. And, you know, it's this, obviously, this thing that arises and falls and comes and goes, but in that package that I call my learning device, which includes the ego, I want to be aware of what it's doing, but I don't want to demonize it. So yes, I can forgive it. It's like my song, I love myself, I forgive myself, my life feels good, I can have what I want, and I choose joy, I choose peace. So, can I forgive and ignore my ego? Yeah. Yeah. I can. And it's all okay. It's all good. It's all okay. Yeah. I can. Okay. Back to the text. There is a kind of experience so different from anything the ego can offer that you will never want to cover or hide it again. Glory! It is necessary to repeat that your belief in darkness and hiding is why the light cannot enter. No force except your own will is strong enough or worthy enough to guide you. And I made this little note in there, God's will is my will. My will is God's will. And then the text says, thou shalt have no other gods before him because there are none. Glen's comments here. The experience of expressing yourself fully is powerful. The experience of coddling the ego is humiliating. Follow your authentic expression of the kingdom of God. Never believe the idea of being little is better. We are powerful creators. Our guide is reaching out to us. And a question here for us. Are you reaching out to the guide for help? You know, sometimes I just don't. Sometimes I just don't. I just think, oh, I can handle this. I can do this on my own. You know, I don't need you, God. Thanks. I'll take it from here. Thanks, Spirit. And then I'm like deep in some kind of spiral. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't even ask Spirit for guidance. Oh, it's so funny. Okay. So back to the text. Light cannot penetrate through the walls you made to block it. And it is forever unwilling to destroy what you have made. Watch your mind for the scraps of fear. I will love you and honor you and maintain complete respect for what you have made, but I will not uphold it unless it is true. I will come in response to a single, unequivocal call. And Glen says, if you want to know the truth about yourself, you'll have to practice being yourself. True that. You have all the necessary knowledge about who or what that is. Life will express itself. Your only choice is whether you'll twist it up or support it. Set yourself to building the container that breaks you open. And his last question for us here is, are you cracking open? Are you cracking open? Wow. I most certainly am. I most certainly am, and I'm willing to be willing when it gets really challenging. And that's all it takes, just the willingness to be willing. And just allow that crack open to happen. Oh my gosh, that's where the light comes in. Woo! Wow. Well, I see we're almost at the top of the hour. I just want to open it up here for a second to see if anybody had comments or anything they wanted to share. If not, I'll close this with the song, but I'd be happy to hear from you. Yay! Laura Joy, yay!
Cool. No, I came in late, way late, but
it's okay.
But I just loved what you were sharing, because Jesus is so direct about what we really are, you know, and he's not like saying, oh, just pretend you're not that, you know.
Yeah.
And just ask me wholeheartedly. Ask me wholeheartedly for help. So
yeah,
I loved it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. You know, I think I do have time to do this. It's about 3 minutes. Oh, it's about 3 minutes. It's okay.
Take as much as you need.
Is it okay if I okay? I'll play this last song. Well, so, you know, the music keeps pouring in, the Spirit keeps giving me songs, and this one's based on Thoughts of Awakening number 15. To love and be loved in return. Willingness is my strength. Willingness is everything. My willingness is my guide. And in this love I will abide. Ooh, I am willing. Ooh, I am willing. Ooh, I am willing to love and be loved in return. My desire to forgive takes me higher. Expressions of my heart. I'm grateful for this brand new start. Ooh, I am willing. Ooh, I am willing. Ooh, I am willing to love and be loved in return. To love and be loved in return. To love and be loved in return. All right, my loves. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you. See you next time.